Hey guys, welcome to Rach Talk, my weekly show where I sit here at my office, drink caffeine, and talk about what's going on in my life. This week, I'm telling you all about how I got a brain scan. Yes, like I went into a tube, had like things injected and looked at my brain. It was wild. And why on earth I would do something like that voluntarily. And also, I'm going to try my best to make a Cookie Monster cake that I saw on Pinterest. So I did the craziest thing the other day, you guys, and it's something that I wanted to do forever. I got a brain scan.
Keep still. Fighting just makes it hurt.
Right. Okay. Maybe that sounds a little bit wild, but I read this book by Dr. Daniel Amen. The idea was that the brain is the most important part of the body, and it's the one that we least look at.
Did you know that psychiatrists are the only medical specialists that virtually never look at the organ they treat? Think about it.
In this book, he was talking specifically about mental illness, which is something that's really close to my heart. My brother had schizophrenia and he took his own life, and there's a lot of mental illness in my family. And so I just try and arm myself with as much information as I can about what causes it and ways to treat it. And it's just a study that I've been interested in since I was younger. So I was reading his book, and he was talking about this idea that if you broke your arm today and you went to the hospital, they would take an x-ray of your arm before they told you how to treat it. But the brain is a part of the body. Like I said, it's so important, but we don't take an x-ray before we begin to treat the brain. And if you actually looked at what was going on in your head, that you could help yourself by understanding which parts of your brain maybe don't have as high function or are struggling, or like my friend Trent was in the NFL, and there's a lot of injury to the head that happens, and members of our military community who get TBI. Sorry, I'm going down a rabbit hole, but there's all sorts of things that you can do even if you aren't in any sort of contact sport, like if you fell and hit your head when you were little, and it can still be affecting how you function today. So I had just always wanted to get a brain scan from him and one of his clinics because I want to know what's going on in my body. I want to take as good of care of myself as I possibly can. And I think that in order to take care of yourself, you've got to know what's happening. I don't know if you've ever had an experience in your life where you thought you were doing something to take care, like you were eating a certain food or taking a certain supplement, and you were doing this thing because it was the right thing to do, and then later you found out that actually it was really detrimental to your system. I've definitely taken supplements before that are supposed to make me feel great, and then come to find out make me feel terrible because I am anemic and I have low blood pressure, and that supplement interacts with my system in a negative way. So I just don't want to make choices in life that I think are good when really they're not. Partially because I want to take really good care of myself, but also because I feel really discouraged when I'm working really hard towards something and then it ends up being the wrong choice. And I'm guessing that it's the same for you. Okay, y'all, I saw this Cookie Monster cake. We'll put it right here on Pinterest. And it was so cute, and it felt like maybe it was achievable. So I thought today I would try it and tell you, is it easy? Is it hard? Is it something you should try for your toddler's next birthday party? Here's what you're gonna need. Store-bought cake mix, and then all the ingredients to make that cake. Icing for the middle, and then icing to turn blue. And then this is a special black decorating icing, and then I'm using white Reese's peanut butter cups as the eyes, and then a bunch of little chocolate chip cookies. And I gotta tell you, I've not had lunch and I literally want to devour everything on this table, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna actually ice the cake. So step one, you're gonna make your cake in an 8 or 9-inch round pan. We added a layer of icing to the middle, and now we are gonna ice this whole thing using store-bought icing with some blue food coloring in it. Right? Oh, it smells so good. Oh my gosh. I'm like, literally my mouth is watering. I'm so hungry right now. I just had like almonds. It's not cutting it, Cookie Monster. I'm gonna be honest. And I mean, this is definitely something my kids would love to help with. It's probably not gonna be quite as pretty, but it would make them really happy. So if you've got some little kids or even some teenagers in the house, I always think that cooking and baking is it's one of my favorite ways to hang out with my kids because we both enjoy it. And I also hope that they learn to cook and bake the same way I did, which was just doing it with my parents when I was little. I wanted to get a Brainscan for all of those reasons, but also because I can tell that my focus isn't what it used to be. You know, I'm one of the most productive people I know. And if I look back 4 or 5 years ago, my ability to stay focused on the task in front of me was so much greater. I didn't get distracted. I could get into flow state really easily, and I would knock out, a word count or the production that I needed to do. I was so great at it. And it slipped. And what I'm wondering is, has it slipped because of this? And how often I'm distracted by something in my hand or in my pocket, or is something going on inside my head that's affecting my life? But I'll tell you right now, Brainscan day was crazy. First of all, I flew to LA to get the scans done, and you cannot have coffee before this happens. And y'all, I mean, hello, caffeine is life. And this is iced tea, by the way. Like, if you thought this was like 8 shots of espresso, I'm not that nuts. I felt like a zombie, and then I had to go in. The test started at noon, and there's like that thing where they like put you in the tube and it's like scanning your head. I had to have like computer tests. I had to have an IV with like weird fluid I don't even know. Then I had to have more computer tests, numbers, letters, like 20 pages of intake forms. I got through it, and I felt like a zombie. I felt like I had just taken the SATs and the LSATs and anything else that Elle Woods needed to get into Harvard. It was just a lot of information coming out of my brain. And I don't have the results yet. I'm really excited to know what the heck is going on inside my head, but I promise as soon as I get details from Dr. Amen, I will show them to you guys and tell you all about it. And if you're a nerd like me, maybe you are interested in what it is. All right, now that I've iced this whole thing, I am going to make Cookie Monster's face. So you need 2, I'm using Reese's peanut butter cups. I'll do it this way so that you guys can see. But you could also use anything that's like a white cookie. And then we're gonna use some black icing to add his eyes in. And you could do this any way you want, but it's because it's Cookie Monster and he's kind of a hot mess, we're gonna make them going in 2 different directions. We got these cookies from the store and we just cut them in half, and we're gonna shove them, we're gonna like make a mouth that's filled with chocolate chip cookies because it's Cookie Monster. This is so cute. Next, I'm gonna use the icing, my piping bag, to add some little fur around his eyes and his mouth. Now, if I was like world's best mom, I would put fur all over the top of this cake like the inspiration photo. But honestly, I really use Pinterest for inspiration. I don't make myself have to do it exactly right. And frankly, I don't really have the time. So I think you do the best you can with what you've got. This looks like Cookie Monster has like adult onset acne. All right, well, it's pretty good for not having time to do all the fur, and I can tell you right now, Noah Hollis is gonna freak out about this. She's gonna love her some Cookie Monster, because at the end of the day, you made your kid a cake that is not only a cake, but it is also cookies as well. So this is my try at a Pinterest creation. Not as beautiful as the original, but pretty darn good. Look. There are people who are really into fancy cars or nice purses or, like a big house or whatever. The thing that I spend the most money on in my life is my health. always. It is the biggest luxury or splurge, and anytime there's something new that I can learn or find out, that's definitely what I invest in, because I want to have the most energy, the most joy, the most focus, the most highest vibrations in life. And I really think that the only way that's possible is if I take care of this one body that I've been given. If you hang out with me in the Rise app, then you know I am not interested in the pursuit of health in order to look a certain way. I think that trying to be healthy because you want six-pack abs or a smaller jean size is one of the most toxic things that is shoved down the throats of women from the time that we are little girls. I want to pursue health because I want to feel great. I want to feel vibrant. I want to have energy. I want to have life. And in order to do those things, I've got to invest in knowing what's going on. And if you're like me and you have a family history of emotional, psychological issues, then beyond therapy, I feel like doing everything you can to understand the way you're wired is a gift that you can give yourself that will last the rest of your life. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you loved today's episode. Let's connect in comments. I want you to comment below and tell me, what is the thing that you have invested in for your health in the last year? What's the thing that you love, that you know is really working for you? Comment below and tell the community so we can all learn from each other. And if you're gonna comment, let's spread the love. Make sure you check in with 2 or 3 other people and support them in what they're doing. And if you like this episode and this community, I hope you will consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and ringing the bell so you get a notification every time I post a new video. I will be back next week, and until then, I want you to remember I love you and I'm rooting for you.